That looked tough, didn't it? That's not really. My name's Chris. Welcome to the intermediate guitar lessons. Lesson 1. These are free. Yes. We're going to work on what I just played there. Now, I just call that the slider scale. What this is really cool for is this shows you not only how to slide, we're going to teach you how to bend and how to do a hammer-on pull-off. Really cool stuff. All that and more you are going to learn in the first intermediate guitar lesson for free. Alright, this is a very rad exercise, my friends. I call it the slider scale just because you're sliding and it's in a scale formation. We get to do some extra cool things here though. We're going to work on some hammer-on pull-offs, some bends, and sliding, okay? So here's what we got. We're going to start on the 3rd fret on the low E string. Get first finger going there, my friends. Now basically, you can see this is kind of in a box shape, okay? Here's what we got. 3rd fret, same string, 5th fret. Then what we're going to do is move to 3rd fret on the A string and do the same thing. But here's what we're going to do when we hit the 5th fret on the A. This is the 4th note. We got. We're going to pick and slide. Okay, now you want to be aggressive with this, okay? We touched on this a bit in Cold Gin, I believe. Kiss song. Check this out. 3rd fret, 5th fret on the E string, moving to the A string. 3rd fret. Alright, same formation. It's like target practice. Pick and slide. The trick is to hear the note first, then slide it up, okay? This works way easier on an electric. Just throwing it out there. I am going to do this first lesson on the acoustic. You can do it on both guitars, so no problem. Okay, there's where we're at. Now here's the cool thing. The way this is set up that makes it really, really straightforward is we have our ring finger here on the 7th fret that we're sliding to, right? Now, our first finger is going to be floating right over top of the 5th fret on the D, which is where we want to be next. Now, basically what we're doing here is repeating what we just did on different strings. See that cool little slide I did on there? So let's go from the beginning here just to keep you guys in speed with me. 3rd fret, 5th on the E. Fingers right over top of 3rd fret A string. Continue on. Now here's what we're going to do, folks. Keep in mind when you hit your 4th note in the first part of the progression, you're picking and sliding. Now, you're set up for the next section. Your first finger's right over top of the D string, 5th fret. We're going to basically do the same thing. 5th fret on the D, 7th fret on the D. Now, again, our first finger's floating right over top of the 5th fret on the G string. Now, same deal. Now, remember, 4th note in this part of the progression, pick and slide, my friends. Now here's where we're going to break the structure we have here. We're going to kind of go in between. Instead of skipping a fret, we're going to go right here. Now I use my middle finger because it's easier for me to transfer in there. If you want to use your first, that's fine. Let's bring us up to that point though. 3rd on the E, 5th, moving over to the A string, 3rd, we're going to the 5th fret for a pick and slide. Hear the note, slide it up. Continue on, D string, 5th fret, 7th fret on the D, now floating over top of the G, boom, get ready for another pick and slide up here on the 7th on the G string. Beautiful! Now we're going to break this down to the next part. I go like this. That's how I do it, my friends. My fingers and my hand isn't huge, so that's the way I like to do it. I'm going to show you that way. Going from, I go to my middle finger, I go to my pinky finger. Now you can go if you want, that's fine as well. Maybe easier for beginners to do it that way, branching over to the intermediate stage here. Either way, you end up going right here on the B string. We're on the 8th fret, 8, then we go up to the 10th, then we go to the 8th fret on the high E string, following suit with our ring finger. This time we're not going to pick and slide, folks. We're going to bend that thing and then go down to our first finger. Now what we're doing here is called a full bend. Bending it up, bringing it back, and going to a note 2 frets down. Okay, let's bring it up to that spot again. Pretty straightforward, my friends. Make sure you hear the note again first. Then bend, bring it back down, then release your ring finger and rely on your first finger. Now, we're going to move down. We're going to throw a bend in there and a hammer-on pull-off. Holy cow, man. Check this out. Hopefully you guys are good with that far. Splitting off. Now instead of picking and sliding, bending, bringing it back, first finger. Now taking our ring finger and going to the 10th fret on the B string, down to the 8th fret on the B string. Now we're gonna, instead of picking and sliding again here, we're going to full bend and bring it all the way down, okay? Just like that. Now instead of going to our first finger, hammer on, pull off. End with your middle. Basically what we're doing here, my friends, we are on the 8th fret on the B string, and my ring finger is up 2 frets on the 10th. Pick the string, hammer on, pull off. Your finger will groove into it. You might want to pull down a little bit as you're doing it. Like that. Again, be very aggressive with all these things you're doing. You don't have to push really hard, but you got to be aggressive and firm with it, okay? Really work on hitting that down hard, pulling it off. I'm only picking that once. If you have a really hard time, you can pick it twice. All right, let's go over this again. Holy cow, that is a really rad riff, my friend. Slider scale, starting on the 3rd fret on the E string, 5th on the low E, moving up to the A on the 3rd. Now we're going to pick and slide from the 5th to the 7th. Beautiful. First finger's floating right over top of the 5th fret on the D string. Moving up the same way we did. 7th fret on the D. Now we're over top of the G string, 5th fret. Beautiful. Ring finger on the 7th. Pick and slide, my friends. Now, here's where we get into some intricate stuff. Moving down 1 fret, we are going to be on the 8th fret on the B. Then going up to the 10th. Same thing, 8th on the E, high E. Now, instead of picking and sliding, with this one, we're just going to bend, full bend, which means... Now you notice when I do the full bend, I use all 3 fingers. You don't have to, you can just use this. You do want to anchor your first though. I just like to get more leverage in there. Trick on the bend, hear the note first, bend it up, bring it back. Try not to attach to another string. My strings are nice and low. Full bend. Go to your first finger. Now we're going to take our ring finger and go to the 10th fret on the B, down to the 8th. Now, instead of picking and sliding again, we're going to do another one of those bends. Instead of going down to our first finger directly, we're going to do a hammer on, pull off. And again, what we're doing is picking on the 8th B string, using our ring finger, hammering on, pulling off. You get some really cool sounds out of that, and we're ending it with our middle finger on the G string. A little bit of a blues ending. Okay, this is what it looks like. I think that is a wicked cool riff, and I hope you guys got that. There's some little things going on in there. Take your time with it though, okay? Make sure with those bends, you hear the note first. Hang on to it, bring it back. That's a full bend because we're starting. Bring the sound up and bring it back down. Now the hammer on again. I'm only picking that once. And hammering my finger on. We're going to expand on that next lesson. I'm going to focus more on some more bends and some more hammer-ons. We're going to strengthen up those fingers. Great for it. Hey! Intermediate lesson number 1. That's what we just did. Hey, that was intermediate lesson number 1. If you've gone through all the beginners, congratulations and well done. We should jam sometime. Seriously. Alright, we're going to keep the lessons going. As I said, lesson number 2, we're going to do more of the bending, hammer-on and pull-offs, which is really, really rad stuff. I like doing all that. It adds a lot of flavor, too. Simple things that you already know, like that. Awesome-o. Very cool. Hey, hit the like button for me, please. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't, if you're just swinging by and checked out this first one. Stick with me. I keep this stuff real, man, and we're consistent with it. Occasionally I get hired to write songs and stuff and record them and do some shows, so that does slightly get in the way, but for the most part, I'm here for you, my friends. I'm here for you. So subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. I do also have a Facebook page because I like to write songs and perform songs. I've got a bunch of songs that are available on iTunes that I would love for you guys to check out. Even if you just want to spin them on Reverb Nation and just hear them. You don't have to necessarily buy them, but I would love it if you did. Anyway, I love playing guitar and I love teaching it to the world, planet Earth. Take care, my friends. We'll see you next lesson.